Okay, hi. So, my friend asked me to do a tutorial on this, so I guess we're doing this. So, how to post on ao3, I guess. First, obviously, go to the site, then you press the post button right here, then new work, then, okay, well, I'm guessing the fic won't be. According to your fic, you add the rating. So I'm just gonna do general, I guess. Uh, then the warnings. There can be any of these. So, well, I'm just gonna put no archive warnings apply because it's just not gonna be anything. Then the fandom. Obviously, just put the fandom. You can also, if it's about your OCs, you can put original work. Then categories. This is Yuri, then there's hetero, this is just anything like platonic or just like not focused on shipping. Then there's yaoi, then there's like either a polyamorous ship or that there's multiple ships. Or then there's other, like maybe non binary characters, or I don't know, something else, I guess. Then there's relationships, which will be just the characters who are interacting with one another. So, and then, you could, like, tediously do your character names and then, like, go in and out just to add them for your OCs. But I think it's easier to just do original characters, original characters. Or if there's no shipping, then just and. Then the characters, that's pretty self-explanatory, the characters who are present in the fic. But like if you're, for example, doing your OCs, at least on mobile, it can be pretty hard to like add them. So if we're doing Adam, then for example, then it'd be, well, I add the tags for ROCs like this, but oh, that's not what I meant to do. But whatever. Okay, so you can see they aren't here. So on mobile, you just have to then save the draft and then go back and edit the tags and then save it to add every character. You could also just do original characters, but that's kind of boring, but like, I guess you could. Anyway, additional tags, it's just like, for example, fluff or, I don't know, Christmas. Oh, hello? Excuse me? What? Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. See, Christmas party, for example, or angst, I guess. Comedy. Oh, I spelled that wrong. I hate my keyboard. Comedy, and like just anything. Like, for example, you can tag freaking mirrors. Like, just anything that's in the fic, you can tag it here. There's probably not every tag, but like, for example, you can add this, like that's a tag, to just whatever. Yeah, you get what I mean. Anyway, title, that's just the title of the fic. So, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Add co-creators, that's just if there's someone helping writing with you and has an ao3 account, so you can add them too. But in most cases, there isn't one, so yeah. summary, it's just a summary of what happens or a little bit of the fic, like, just like to hook the reader in, to like, if I just put like I don't know, then like that's not gonna entice anyone to read the fic, of course. So you can just put a snippet from the fic here, like, I don't know, I don't have anything here. Whatever. So yeah, you could do, for example, that. Or you can just, or after that, you can just do, or, I don't know, Adam is happy. I don't know. Sure. Whatever. Notes. It's just like some notes from the author, like something you want to add about the fic. And you can add one at the beginning and the end. So, like, for example, you can add, I hope you enjoy at the start. That's just an example. You can add anything. And then at the end, you can just add something about the fic, like, this part was really annoying to write, I guess. Sure. Then I don't. Okay, this is like kind of. Yeah. But like, I'd say most fics don't need this. It's like only if it's like a flip ship challenge, or like a ship week, or like Inktober, for example. I don't know, something like that. So it can go here. I think that's what it means. Gift is like to gift this fic as a present to another ao3 or worker user, and then this work is a remix, translation, or a podfic, or was inspired by another work. That's kind of self-explanatory. So if it's like if it's based on another fic, or if it's like a different version of another fic, then you do this. Then this work is part of a series, is like, for example, I have a series for all of my fics on this, so I can do that. Then multiple chapters, self-explanatory. If it has multiple chapters, then you do that. Set a different publication date. You can like schedule it for like later in the future if you want it to be so. And a language, obviously self-explanatory. You just add the language the work is in. Then you don't really need to do this very often, so just leave it like that most of the time. It's only if you really want to. So only show your work to registered users is that the fic only shows up for ao3 users, like people who have an account. I don't do that because some of my friends don't have an ao3 account, so yeah. Then there's comment moderation, which is like that. Moderation for the comments, that you have to approve it before it gets shown, I think, at least. Who can comment on this work? Registered users and guests, so people who have an account and people who don't can comment, then people who do have an account, and then no one. So yeah. Then there's just this is where you put the fic. So I don't know. Yeah. And if you need to put anything in italics, you can just do it from here. If you want to do that, it's easier to just press this button, rich text, because that gives you an easier way to do that. Like, just Yeah, see, that's easier. And you can also change it to be in the middle or that side, or yeah, you get it. Then you can do that. Just, yeah, makes sense. So, and also you can add images if you want to, but most people don't do that. It's only in like special cases, I guess. But yeah, then there's a post button and also save drafts if you want to save it as a draft for some reason. And then you can also preview it. So it's just, yeah, so to see what it looks like, I guess. But yeah, I'm just gonna save this as a draft and let it die someday. But yeah, that's it. That's how to write an ao3 fic or post one, whatever. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching.